Got a Kansept here. Big black box. Don't spin, but it does have a label. This is Integra. Over a 3.5 inch blade. JK Knives designed. Stonewashed M390 bronze anodized titanium. All right, well, I'm intrigued now. Yeah, I'm actually excited. I mean, it's like a higher end deal, right? Upper end. Oh, now I'm really intrigued. Look at this. Wow. Very subtle flipper tab, minimalistic, titanium pocket clip, ton of tension, titanium backspacer, 2 screws on the show side, and basically 2 screws showing on the non-show side, but there's another screw under the pocket clip, and then there's a screw for the metal insert. Wow. Okay. Well, my fancy has been tickled. Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna wipe it off. It's got a little oil on it. Oh, I love that finish. It's not crazy grippy, but it's a little grippy. Let's get that blade out. JK Knives. I said Integra, but it's Integra. There's no T. Well, there's a T here, but no T here. Do I have an anomaly? Yeah, it definitely says Integra here, but it says Integra, no T on the blade. Wow. Maybe I got a one off. If you have one of these, you have to comment. Let me know. Does yours say Integra or Integra? Wow. Yeah. I mean, so definitely can lock yourself out of this knife. That lock bar is right there. But if you get your fingers off of it, this thing runs wonderfully. And the drop action, this thing, wow, is that nice. And the finger guard, I mean, yeah, is it enough? Centered blade. And it's the only way in that knife. Little index finger. Boop. Wow. I dig it. Let's check that lock. Nice. And the pocket clip. Thick stuff. Wonderful. It's not deep carry, milled titanium, so it's not unusual to have that much sticking out. It's a very interesting profile with the angles, the facets cut into the titanium scale. Great retention, great tension. Yeah, it's got these facet cuts there, so at least from my angle, looking down at the knife, it's an interesting profile. It's a little light on the tension on standard jean size material. My spot in the back pocket here, pretty nice. Reasonable tension. Safety, ooh, scared me. Thought I was smashing my finger on that blade, but yeah, no blade contact there. The tip is nice and recessed, so the clip's okay. Clip is good. Tip is good. I can handle this knife any way I want, and I'm not going to catch that sharp part. It is pinned for a lanyard. Yep. And with this minimalistic overall function, maybe a lanyard's a good thing on this knife. I don't know. I mean, it really is. It's like a large knife. It's not a small knife by any means. You know, maybe it's a large medium to a small large, but I mean, yeah. Yeah, the action on this thing, is it good? Well, come on. Let's gut it. Well, history tells me I'm going to need 2 screwdrivers. And the screw is going to come out the show side, and then we'll flip it around when we put it back together. Yeah, there's our screw. It's got a little bit of Loctite on it. And then I believe there's one T6 back here. Now, the pocket clip screw right here may be running through and holding all that down, so I think I'm going to have to take it off. And it's not the pocket clip screw. It might be that one underneath. Interesting. Yeah, that screw's going to have to come. Well, I think this front scale's coming. Yeah. There it is. It's got oil in there. We'll be able to flip that pivot and put it back together. And the pocket clip's just got a little pin that's helping to locate it. No worries. All right, well, let's do some wiping. Beautiful M390 stonewash blade. You don't see that often. I think a lot of times when M390 is used, you're too tempted to try to highlight that steel, and so it gets a high satin finish or a polished finish, that kind of thing. It gets some kind of treatment. So it's kind of interesting to just have like a standard flat stonewash finish on it. Nice. Which kind of goes with the minimalistic theme of the knife. I mean, it's very minimalistic. Lots of skeletonizing going on in here to reduce weight. And I'd say off the top of my head, it's working well because the knife is light. It's not a heavy piece at all. Now I say that, I just picked up this scale here, and it's got some heft. All right, little pieces. Yeah, pretty cool knife. Kansept. And I believe that at the time of this video, this knife is up on Timber's Edge. I'll verify that at the end of the video. We'll see if it's there, and if it is, what's the price? What's the going price for it? They'll probably have to change the status now that I've done this video, but because once new in the box like that, that's the way they're listed, new in the box. Once I run them on the channel, I take them apart, their status changes to new but open box, and that means that what it means is they've been videoed here, and so they could have been taken apart, they could have been tuned, possibly stropped, and all that's in the descriptive. So what you see me doing to this knife, if you find this knife over there, and you're interested in it, just know that what you're seeing is what the knife's been through. And I believe these knives, once this happens, they're sold as is. And the reason being is because it may have a small scratch or something on it, and I think the idea is to not get into expecting these knives to be perfect. The truth is, you shouldn't expect any knife to be perfect, but if they're new in box, they're sold that way. I mean, I've had many a brand new knife come out of the box and I see some kind of mar or imperfection on the knife. But once they come over here and get on this bench, they're sold as an open box. Yep. All right, here we go. Let's get this back on. I'm going to open that action. Did I don't know if I did or not. I want to make sure that I put some oil on that detent line. I did not. Where that detent ball's running. Right there. All right, take two. Try to run this down first. Some of these concepts will hold when I flip them, and I won't have to get the other screwdriver like this one. It just held, and I was able to run it all the way in. And yeah, it's in there tight. Yep. Some of them hold, some of them don't. T6. All right, what do we got? Oh, it's amazing what a little lightweight oil and a wipe down will do. Oh my goodness, is that nice? I mean, this one's going to be hard to pass up. I mean, I say that, but I'm going to have to look at the price. I'm on a beer budget with champagne taste. You know what I'm saying? You know what's up, fellas? You know what I'm saying. I mean, this is special. It's yeah. It's A-level action, no doubt. Just perfection. It's really nice. I mean, and oddly enough, I really, really, really like a subdued flipper tab. I dig it. When they're small like that. The reason this isn't going to get an A plus is because that's really small, and so you have to get it with the edge of your finger. Is it a problem? It's not a problem. It's just not as confident of a deployment because if it was bigger, which is I know that's idiotic because one of the great design features is that minimalistic flipper tab, the minimalistic, knife overall. It's one of the design features. It's one of the attractive things about this knife. But the difference between an A and an A plus, I'm looking for something. it is. I am being negative. I'm looking for something to say, yeah, it's not an A plus. Well, that's what I picked on this one. The the scales on both sides, the lock bar and the scale, have been scalloped, and so reaching in is so intuitive and so smooth. The amount of tension it takes to manipulate that is perfect. Drop shut action. The more I run this thing, the more intuitive it is to get my fingers up on the pocket clip and not run into this lock bar. I do think that, yeah, it's easy to lock yourself out. Yeah, I'm completely locked out. So that would be another reason to say an A versus an A plus, because yeah, if you're not conscious, you get your fingers up on that lock bar, you can definitely lock yourself out. Lock up on the knife is 35, 40%, maybe 45%. Very nice. Blade is centered. We already ran the pocket clip. It runs really well. Ergonomics, yeah, it's very comfortable in hand. I mean, this thing, there's no jimping for the thumb, but this whole scene right here is very comfortable. There is a choke up opportunity here, definitely a sharpening choil to keep you off of the back of the blade and creating smiles. So, this knife's going to be able to be sharpened for a while. Yeah, wonderful ergonomics, reverse grip, very intuitive, locked in behind the flipper tab. Wonderful feel here, feels really good. Fingers getting a grip on that pocket clip there. I dig it. And then, the thing's going to get bonus points from me because this grip's even more locked in. Capped with the thumb, this is catching my palm. And so, yeah, I am really strong gripped right here. Wonderful strong grip up here, man. Come on. Yeah, nice. All right, that M390, big, tall, flat grind with a needle for a tip. Look at that. Look at this needle. Yeah, wonderful. All right. Well, how sharp are we? Yeah, it's that sharp and smooth. I didn't feel a burr, nothing in there. Very nicely done. All right. Well, how much is Timber's Edge Knives selling that for? Let's find out. Okay. Well, what I'm seeing is 239. And so with a discount code, it gets it just a tick over 200. And for our hoarder members, um, they can pick this thing up for a tick under 175, I believe. Yeah. So, hoarding has its benefits. Just saying. And if you think about what a hoarder pays for that membership, I mean, one purchase like this kind of covers it. I'm going to check real quick on this spelling error because I'm curious. Yeah, so what a curious thing. So I found some images of this exact knife, and they are not images of this knife, but the same piece, and it's spelled the same, Integra. But it's listed as an Integra, and the box has it spelled Integra. Interesting. I guess maybe initially it was an Integra, and then they went, now we're going to change it to Integra. I don't know, man. But yeah, overall, hey, man, what a really cool piece. Very nice knife. And I appreciate y'all watching.